Remix Avenue Music Collection.
DJ Jonel sa Dino Remix. Dingle, 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 dingle. Mix, mix, flow, flow. Dingle, dingle, dingle. Mix, mix, flow, flow. Sana all.
Hi, everyone out there who have just tuned in to yet another great and an amazing TikTok series organized by Uniraza. Before I start, let me remind everyone who has just tuned in to please follow us on my Uniraza Facebook and Instagram as well as YouTube channel so that you will have our updated events and all our upcoming activities will be posted there and you'll be the first to know. So, not forgetting today is our actually last day for the Uniraza Virtual Open Day live consultation. So it's not too late for you to tune in. If you have any inquiries, please feel free to do so. We'll be having our virtual day only up to today. Now, a serious question and a serious topic today is about the crisis that is happening. Now, the global pandemic and associated policies restricting people's movement have caused major disruptions to many businesses. We've already observed major shifts in business practices. Working from home is actually the new norm, while many personal meetings and conferences have been replaced by video meetings and other virtual forms of communication. With us, we have yet another three amazing speakers, one of them professor, two of them our alumni, who will be sharing with you nuggets of their experiences in turning crisis into opportunities. And we are so privileged to hear from their viewpoints. Our first speaker is Professor Dr. Mohar Yusuf. He is a professor in the Bank Rakyat School of Business and Entrepreneurship, University Tun Abdul Razak, a private university in Malaysia. Hello, Prof. Welcome to the show. Okay, yeah. So now let me tell you just a little bit about him. He has a vast profile, but I'm just going to try to keep it short and simple. So he is a skilled researcher and a academically qualified educator in the areas of entrepreneurship, family business, and management. He is also a trained and professionally qualified financial planner, family business consultant, and family wealth advisor. In the past 2 decades, he has spent significant amount of time training, coaching, and mentoring almost 2,000 novice and nascent entrepreneurs. Two of them are here with us right now, Cheryl and Iris, in which I will introduce them in just a minute. Now, back to Prof. Mohar, he believes in walking the talk and he has founded and grown several technology and service-oriented ventures. Now, for his hard work and effort, he has won several awards and recognition nationally and internationally. In October 2018, he became the first recipient of the Wasatch Family Scholarship, which led to the attainment of Certificate in Family Wealth Advising from the Family Firm Institute in the United States. In November 2018, he was recognized as the grand winner, Outstanding Entrepreneurship Mentor, Ministry of Education Entrepreneurial Awards, MEA. He envisions the establishment of a Center for Excellence with the assistance and endowment from esteemed philanthropists, entrepreneur leaders, and family-controlled corporations. So I shall leave it to him to talk more about the center later. But welcome again to the show, Prof. Mohar. Okay, our second speaker is Miss Cheryl Charcialini. She is a alumni student, an undergraduate from Bank Rakyat School of Business and Entrepreneurship. She graduated in 2019 with a bachelor's degree in business management, specializing in entrepreneurship, during which she represented UniRaza and Malaysia in two international business cases competitions. In 2018, UniRaza's team, led by Cheryl, emerged victorious in an unprecedented third win in Manila, Philippines. Upon graduation, she joined Drop and Wash, a social enterprise dedicated to empowering B40 and marginalized individuals through upskilling in the professional eco-friendly dry cleaning industry. During her time in Drop and Wash and GoJob, she has acquired a total of 4 accreditations for both entities, including social enterprise accreditations from the Ministry of Entrepreneur Development and Cooperatives, MIDEC, and tax exemption certification from the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia. Cheryl also pioneered the data collection process for project #Food for B40, a project led by Drop and Wash to deliver grocery aid to 500 B40 families and refugees affected by COVID-19 every month up until April 2021. Over 1,000 families have received grocery aid from project #Food for B40 as of today. I'll leave it to her later also to talk more about that. Welcome, Cheryl Charcialini, to our show. And last but not least, our third speaker is Puan Harizatul Izayu binti Muhaimin, also graduated from Bank Rakyat School of Business at University Tun Abdul Razak in 2018. During her second year of studies, she already had started developing her interests and ideas of opening a Balinese conceptualized spa. And she wanted to offer a spectrum of products and services that are specially designed to de-stress and neutralize the taste of soothing Bali air, combining the sense of luxury with appropriate price tag. Now, in January 2019, she opened her second branch of Iris Wellness and Medispa in establishment in March 2019. Harizatul, or I fondly call her Aries because she was my student before. I hope it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Aries has a vision to expand her brand broader, not just in services, but also physical products related to beauty and wellness. So fast forward to April 2020, Aries has created a brand called As You Whisk in the middle of the pandemic with her partner, who is now her husband. And as they saw this opportunity to, for food-related industry to grow during this time. So welcome to the show, Puan Aries. And congratulations on your recent wedding.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let me go straight into the question. Now, as COVID-19 continues its disruption, the livelihood of many entrepreneurs and small business owners has been threatened. Our current situation is deeply unsettling for some of us. Entrepreneurs are facing many obstacles, including ensuring the business they have put in their blood, sweat, and tears into to continue to stay afloat. On top of that, many of them have employees that they're trying to protect and reassure, a monumental task when they themselves are struggling with burnout. With our good lineup of speakers today, we are going to discuss further on how turning crisis into opportunities with these amazing people's viewpoints, especially for all of you out there. So my first question is to Professor Mohar. As it is our hot topic for today, especially to those entrepreneurs out there, Can you share with us the impact and challenges that they need to go through for the past 6 months when we started our MCO?
Thank you, Grace. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, can hear you well. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll start with a major challenge that we observe. A major challenge is declining sales.
Mm,
And for some, they have no sales during the full lockdown, especially. And this is because during the full lockdown, from mid-March and until for 3 months, uh, some businesses or many businesses couldn't open their shops, couldn't open their offices. Even during partial lockdown, they still have challenges in operating efficiently and effectively their businesses. So, because of this, the challenge was to seek creative and innovative ways to do marketing, sales, and delivery. So they have to learn very quickly how to do things, digitally, meaning to use or utilize digital strategies. And because of that, one of the impacts that we saw and observed is the acceleration of digital adoption and strategies. I can give you two examples because during that time, mid-March and for 2 3 months during the full lockdown, I was teaching a course to the entrepreneurship students in the university, and that course requires students to implement their businesses, their business ideas, even for a small scale. And because of they cannot operate physically, they had to figure out ways and strategies to do things digitally. An example is a student called Nur Amira. We fondly call her Amy. She's from a family business. The business operates a satay restaurant called Satay R&K, and the main outlet is in Bandar Baru and Stack, and they have another outlet in Seremban. So because they couldn't open the shop fully, the restaurants fully, and during that time when we were, or I was guiding Amy to complete her project for that course, so we facilitated with her a strategy whereby she partnered with um, delivery service providers like Food Panda, Bungkus 8, Grab, and it helped her family business, the satay restaurant, to generate sales. But even then, the sales level was not as high as they were operating before, right? But in any way, it helped. And another example was another student, Mohammad Ghani. So he was starting out at that time, uh, and and because also to fulfill the requirement of the course, but he was really thinking about starting a catering business, a small one, selling soya drinks, tafufa, and cendol. And so we guided him so that he did the delivery could be done within the 5 kilometer radius of his operations, and he was kind of forced to use digital ways of marketing and promoting his service, his food and beverage business. So he was quite active so he started to launch his FB, Facebook page and Instagram, and he had to actively promote and market his food and beverages that way. So the other challenge faced by businesses and entrepreneurs are the ability to cover operating costs, mainly salaries of employees and their own salaries, because of the declining sales. And if there are no sales, then this will have a big impact on how the business can cover operating costs, mainly the salaries of employees and owners. Uh, and the impact of this is how this could affect retaining essential manpower and human capital, right? Because essentially you need manpower and human capital to continuously run the business. So it's a chain effect. Low sales or declining sales or no sales will have an impact on how you are able to cover your costs, right? And even established businesses face similar challenges. And the thing is, like in our case, we are very concerned about family businesses, because family businesses comprise of almost 70% of total establishments in Malaysia, right? So businesses are mainly owned by family, right? And when the family couldn't earn their income, their personal income, so everyone in the family will be affected, right? So these were the major challenges and continue to be the challenges as we are still affected by COVID-19 pandemic as well as the financial crisis.
Yes, great.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Grace.
much. Thanks, Prof. Mohar, for really ironing out what are the challenges that are faced by entrepreneurs, and especially with some of our students, and as well as family businesses. Now, let me ask Miss Cheryl. You are not in the food business, so you are currently doing something right now with food, but before this, you were in you are still in drop and wash. So, could you tell me? Currently, you are in a social enterprise. You need how then are your goals, and when you first started to choose Bachelor of Management in Entrepreneurship. Yeah. So we're going to like rewind time a little bit. What is your goal when you chose to study Bachelor of Management in Entrepreneurship?
I joined Uniraza and took
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship to learn more about marketing. Closest option I had in Uniraza was entrepreneurship, but learning it made me develop a passion for entrepreneurship. See, I know a lot of people say that entrepreneurs are born, but I feel that Uniraza helped shape an entrepreneurial mindset. So through training, through selling every semester, it made me want to be more entrepreneurial. Um, and I've actually developed multiple business plans throughout all these other semesters. But I ended up not exactly setting up any business. Um, After graduating, I actually wanted to go and find my passion, find what exactly I'm good at. So if you're asking me if it was my intention to join a social enterprise after graduating, no, it wasn't my intention. But I think it was fate that the job kind of landed on my lap through a recommendation, because I ended up finding my passion, exactly what I was looking for. And I love doing social work. I was
Hmm.
actually hired as a consultant to represent
Mm-hmm.
Drop and Wash program by Magic. So Magic is an incubator. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Malaysian um, Innovative and Creativity Center. So it's an incubator that helps businesses and companies in all stages, whether startup or growth, and it gives them funding to, go on with their business processes. And Drop and Wash was in the scale up phase for the push program, the program that I was hired for. It's called the Pemangkin Usahawan Social Hebat. So this program was supposed to build social entrepreneurs, something that is pretty new in the Malaysian landscape. And after this 7-week push program, I was asked to join permanently, and that's when I accepted.
Ah, congratulations. Yeah. And this is what exactly we are talking about today. We're talking about opportunities, right? And you saw an opportunity and you took it not knowing what you were getting into, but then you found passion in that. So students like you are will definitely move forward because they take the opportunity, whatever it may be, and then they look into what their passion could develop from that. So congratulations to you, Cheryl. Now, Aries, thank you so much for listening for a long time. Now, you are an entrepreneur from the start, even as a student. So, currently, how many businesses do you have? And what makes you want to have your own business? And who is your mentor that encourages you to set up your own business?
All right. So currently, I do have two businesses that I'm working on. The first one is Arizona Family Spa, which I started since my second year of degree. And another one is a food-related business, which I just started this year in April. That one is companies that offers desserts, cookies, and also caters to events, weddings, vendors, and so on. So yeah, in terms of what makes me want to have my own business is actually um, from self-interest, which I wanted to pursue my passion as I can do uh, when I do business, I can do things that makes me happy. I can create something from scratch. I can meet new people, making
Mm,
network with other entrepreneurs and professionals, and then I wanted to create jobs for other people as well. To improve the economy with the new job opportunities, and then most importantly, to help people by using products or services that are created in order to improve their life or in order to cater the demand of the demand of the current market and so on. And then as for my mentor, it actually changes from time to time. I can say that because during my study years, my mentor was other than my parents, and also lecturers. One of them I can say is Professor Mohar. Thank you so much for guiding me during my degree years. And then I remember that one time when Professor Mohar said to me and also to all his students to when you have planned to open a business but you don't really have the guts to do so, uh, the only thing that he said is just start somewhere, and then eventually it will drive to somewhere near to what you have planned for. So
mm,
and then currently my mentor is Sifu Jamal,
mhm,
is the founder of Seafood Bites. So he encourages me and also my husband to find opportunity in this current situation, in this pandemic of COVID-19. What is the current demand for this time? So you look for it and then you go for it. So that's why SWIX was created.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aries. I like that you said the one thing that you remember from Professor Mohar's class is to, if you want something and you feel like you don't have the guts to do it, just start somewhere, yeah, anywhere, but just start, okay, and then see where it goes. I remember you, Aries, when the first time I saw you in my class during foundation. I think that was 2015 or 2016. I'm not too sure. You were a quiet girl, and to see you now speak so confidently to so many people out there, and as well as I saw you recently give a talk to UniRazak students. It really gives me that joy and that proud moment that you have turned out so well. And of course, there are challenges to come, and knowing that you have that resilience and you have that gut, so to speak, to move on, yeah, to really step forward. All right. Thank you for sharing your introduction and as well as your businesses. At this point, I am going to remind our viewers, if you have any questions for Prof. Mohar, for Cheryl, and for Aries, please feel free to drop your questions on our Facebook, our YouTube, and Instagram if you're watching, right? So now let's go back to our questions for Prof. Mohar. Now, despite challenges and obstacles that many business owners and entrepreneurs are facing right now, do you think some entrepreneurs in this situation it can be a really good opportunity for them to tap into new markets or demands for their businesses? For example, some businesses are doing well during this pandemic, such as the delivery service, online businesses, food, beverages, and etc. So, what is your take on that, to tapping into new businesses? Prof. Moha, are you able to speak? Okay, I think there are some technical errors on his part. So I will leave that question for him when he comes back live. Cheryl, I'm going to go to you now. Right. So as an employee, what is the solution or alternative that they provide to overcome the current situation? Hi, Prof. Mohan. Sorry, I've asked the question just now to you, but I've moved over to Cheryl right now, and I'll come back to you in just a minute. Yeah?
Sure,
Okay,
no
so sorry,
problem.
Cheryl. As an employee, what is the solution or alternative that they provide to overcome the current situation? And with your knowledge and experiences as a social enterprise executive and as graduate student in entrepreneurship program, do you manage to contribute something in terms of ideas and creating solutions together for your social enterprise?
So MCO hit drop and wash pretty hard. Even though we were allowed to operate, because we belong to the cleaning industry, so we were an essential service. We were still struggling because 50% of our income comes from the hotel industry, and the hotel industry belongs to the tourism industry. So it was just a matter of everybody being indirectly affected. But our founder, Ms. Zarina, being the philanthropist she is, used Goja, our CSR subsidiary, to come up with a project called Food for Frontliner. So during the first MCO, lots of people were delivering food to frontliners, but not many were delivering to night shift frontliners. And that's the gap that Ms. Zarina managed to identify. Soon after, because we realized where we're situated at is the hub of B40, and that's where our operations is at. So because we are situated at the hub of B40, we realized that many B40 families were being affected by the MCO, and we decided we wanted to help them too. And that's when I came into the picture. So I helped develop the data collection process for Project Food for B40. And I helped with the grant application that we used to fund the project. So as of today, we have received over 600 applications from refugees and about 500 applications from B40 families. And we have delivered more than 1,000 grocery bags to B40 families as of today. So if we're trying to take away a lesson from this, I would say if you're running a business, you definitely would have to pivot. We're a laundry, and we ended up doing grocery delivery. Times are like that. But if you have a solution, if you think you have a solution to a problem that many people are having, then you kind of just have to take it. You have to seize the opportunity.
Yep. Right. Very, very apt in our topic today, which is seizing the opportunity. I like that quote, Cheryl. So seize the opportunity where it may be. It may be something that is really different from what you're doing right now, but if you see an opportunity in that, why not seize it? All right. Thanks, Cheryl. It looks like you are doing great with research and development in your social enterprise. I see so much potential in that. Coming back to Prof. Mohar, should I repeat my question again, or are you able to answer?
Yeah, I think the question refers to the challenges and obstacles, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And also how to tap on new markets or demands, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, in crisis there are problems, but crisis also bring forth opportunities. Before I go further, I'd like to put the concept of entrepreneurship into perspective, right? So as what Cheryl mentioned earlier, entrepreneurship is a way of thinking, a mindset, a behavior, which is opportunity focused. So entrepreneurs have the ability and skill to recognize and shape opportunities. And entrepreneurship is also a process of creating unique competitive advantages by assembling critical resources and a competent team comprising a pool of talented people. So having the right entrepreneurial team in a timely manner to seize and shape an opportunity into a profitable and sustainable venture determines whether a business makes or breaks. So in a nutshell, entrepreneurship is a process, a way of thinking which takes time, perseverance, resilience, hard work, consistency, focus, effective leadership, and efficient management. It may take 6 months to as long as 3 years for the venture to be profitable and sustainable. It requires planning, budgeting, shaping, building, growing efforts. That's why the entrepreneur needs a team, a pool of resourceful and competent people. So now we are in the 21st century. And the 21st century is a century of greater advancement in all types of technologies. The catalyst is the evolution of the internet, creating new market spaces and places which are borderless and boundaryless. So there has been convergence. There has been convergence between traditional commerce, internet commerce, mobile commerce, etc., which we now regard as the digital economy. And the digital economy as a basis has grown or has spinned off another type or other types of economies which we call as the gig economy or the sharing economy. And the digital economy, the gig economy, the sharing economy are being enabled by technologies. So in this regard, the entrepreneur will need a team of people who have the aptitude and skill sets to shape and build a digital or tech business, right? Even a social enterprise, as described by Cheryl just now, requires components of technology to enable the business. So here we have a new breed of entrepreneurs emerging, right? The young entrepreneurs. And their teams will have to learn and build capabilities to be resilient. And I believe this new breed of entrepreneurs will overcome the crisis and they will shape new opportunities, new markets. So at UniRazak, we encourage students to develop their business ideas and ventures as early as possible during their studies, even in the first year. So those who capitalize on this opportunity tend to be more successful in the entrepreneurial journey and pursuit. At least they move faster into being entrepreneurial and enterprising. But then again, like I said, we are not just building entrepreneurs. We are building, shaping entrepreneurial leaders, entrepreneurial graduate, entrepreneurial personalities, which can think entrepreneurially and identify, shape opportunities. Thank you, Grace.
Right. Thank you so much, Prof. Mohar. So much nuggets of wisdom there in just a short answer. So, Prof. Mohar, I like the way that you said Uniraza does not just look into what makes an entrepreneur, but they are shaping the personality of a entrepreneur while giving the freedom for them to develop on their own, and as well as the importance of having a team. Because whenever we talk about entrepreneurship or being an entrepreneur, we think about one person doing everything. But in actual fact, as you mentioned, it is far more effective if there is a team that has different skill sets. And when they pull together all their skill sets, they will be able to really make the business successful. I also like the fact that you said it takes anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to 3 years to see the fruits of their labor. So it is it's amazing to know that you can definitely put data into it. You can definitely track how successful you will be, as well as what Unirazak does to shape that entrepreneur personality. So, Ms. Aries, we're going to go to you right now. And how do you see this current situation and your acceptance to make sure you yourself are on track to sustain your business? How do you manage your business, especially during this pandemic? And I'm sure that there's a big difference managing your businesses from this year to last year because you are in wellness and spa, and that is not in the essential as food, for example. So could you please share from your perspective and experience?
All right, so it is undeniable that there is a quite huge difference in managing business from past years compared to this year, where the pandemic of COVID-19 has taken all over the world. Many people and businesses are affected and struggling to survive, and I am no exception. So, especially in beauty salon and spa industry, we have strict guidelines, SOPs, do's and don'ts, which somehow restricted the operation a bit compared to before COVID exists or before all this things happen. So the way I manage the way business is managed is also changing. I remember the first 3 months that we cannot operate. There is no cash in our service for our services. So we depended more on cash reverse, and also during that time I've changed a bit on the business, where if previously we are focusing more on services, and then during that time we shift to selling products that related to beauty and to wellness online. And that I think it works because by selling those products we actually getting sales. And then after the first 3 months of MCO, the government has started to give permission for us to open. And then another things change. For example, people are a bit afraid to are still a bit afraid to go out. So it's fine if you cannot go out, then I'll come to you. So something like that. So we've implemented few other services to cater that problem. And one of it is we're doing the services not just focusing on physical. I mean, instead of waiting for people to come to our spa, to our physical store, we actually go to them. We actually promoting it through digital marketing, and alhamdulillah it's working so far until now. And other than that, I'm always prepared for plan B, plan C, or be ready to change the plan for the unexpected, because at this time we have to always have plans. And then other than that, to manage finance wisely, and then to make sure all this thing is to make sure that we are actually on track and we can actually sustain. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Aries, that you shared with us from your personal experience what you have been doing, and how you managed to overcome this. Right. As of now, I am going to take some questions from the audience. I hope that is okay. And when I ask this question, anybody can choose to answer this question, okay? Right. So the first question, can I have it up on screen? Is from Muhammad Mukmin Soid. Now, the severity of COVID-19 impact on businesses is definitely unprecedented. What is the strategy for enterprise to survive this pandemic? I know some of you have already answered this before, but maybe you can just put it in simple terms for our viewers out there. Anybody can take this.
Well, I will leave it to Cheryl and Aris.
Okay.
I think I'll try to answer that.
Sure, no problem.
I think just trying to repeat and add on to my point earlier is that businesses definitely need to learn to be more versatile and pivot during this very trying times. At Drop and Wash, we tried very hard not to ask anybody to leave. Everybody is still staying on, and during that MCO, some of them asked to be on unpaid leave for health purposes. And I think in that sense, we were pretty lucky because we managed to save some money there. And obviously the moratoriums helped as well. but honestly, there is opportunities everywhere. I think even Aries have has decided to move into the food and beverage industry. I think kind of what Drop and Wash has done as well. We I wouldn't say it's food and beverage. I would say it's more delivery services. What we have done is in terms that was what I've been explaining previously was the social aspect. In terms of the business aspect, we have a fleet of vans that we use to deliver laundry, and during this time we have started renting it out for people to deliver stuff. So it's sort of Lala move, but Drop and Wash band, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for taking that question. And very true, it's just easy to tap on the opportunities that are already there, and just take on and go with it, right? So, okay, question number two, but this is specifically for Prof. Moha. As known to many, Uniraza won the award of Entrepreneurial University of the Year among all the other private universities. What are the efforts and initiatives that the university has engaged to uplift the level of entrepreneurship among students and the staff?
Wow, that's a very big question, right?
It's a whole chapter.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm not sure whether I'm the right person to answer because it concerns the university as a whole, right?
Mhm.
How the university uplifts itself to continuously nurture and provide conducive environment for students uh, to uh, to to identify and shape opportunities to start their own businesses and so on. And the thing is, being an entrepreneurial university, starting businesses or helping students to start businesses is just one component. An entrepreneurial university has to also be involved in research and innovation, right? Uh, an entrepreneurial university needs to build a culture, an entrepreneurial culture of this. Everyone tries to think entrepreneurially, behaving entrepreneurially, um, and from the start, the university, being a private university, it has to be entrepreneurial. It has to be business-like because the university cannot survive if it cannot generate profits, right? So the DNA is there. The DNA is there, and but I do believe, and I share the concerns and views of a lot of people that we can do more. Right? There are things that we can do better. There are things that we can do more, and I also hope, and I also hope being part of the university that the university, particularly its management, will continuously look into this aspect of building this entrepreneurial culture, building innovation, uh, you know, because we have that capabilities, we have it in our DNA, but we still need to harness it. We still need to harness it, and we still need to walk the talk. That's why I always believe in this principle of walking the talk, right? So if we are not seen as walking the talk, then people will question whether are we an entrepreneurial university, right? And
Okay.
the personalities, the characters, the people within university need to demonstrate, need to walk the talk, not
Yeah.
just from the top, but down to everyone. everyone in academic, in operations, everyone has to walk this talk of being an entrepreneurial university.
Right. Yeah.
If that can be, if we can persist on this, then we will continue to be the best entrepreneurial university in Malaysia.
And continue to win many awards.
Right.
Okay, right. Thank you so much for enlightening us. What goes into being an entrepreneurial university. Now, the third one is open to all. Maybe our alumni can answer first, and then Prof. Mohar, maybe you can add on more to it. So our third question is very interesting. Why bureaucracy? Why is bureaucracy still the main problem in entrepreneurship in Malaysia? Shouldn't it be effortless to catapult, seeing that it serves as the nation's backbone? This is from Dr. Eric.
So maybe Aris would like to go first
Yes.
before I add on.
All right. I think it's because when for the entrepreneurs or for the businesses itself, I think they're more bureaucrat in sense of that they wanted to have more recognition when they're doing business instead of the main purpose of doing a business is to not to just generate profit, but also to help people out there in finding jobs, in finding capturing the demand of the market and so on. So, but as I think as the time goes by, the sense of bureaucracy is this is based on my opinion.
Yes.
I think this bureaucracy is slowly changing. For example, like Fashion Valley, where they don't really the founder itself don't really use, for example, they call sorry. For example, like instead of they calling Dato Vivi or Dato Fatzal, they are now calling Fatzal Vivi, and they treat each other just like the other colleagues, where they can talk, they can discuss easily, you know. So yeah, I think, but I think the main problem is that the sense of recognition. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aris. Prof. Mohar, would you like to add to that?
Yes, I'd like to look at this from two perspectives. The first one is, if we can say, government bureaucracy, right? Or the political bureaucracy.
Right.
Because entrepreneurship development has been an important agenda for the government especially since the 80s, right? And we've been talking about developing an entrepreneurial nation in the past decade, I would say, right? So, but studies have shown that Malaysia, when we compare the level of entrepreneurial activities in Malaysia as compared to other countries, we are still in the low rank, the low level in terms of entrepreneurial activities, as well as in terms of entrepreneurial employees, the level of entrepreneurial employees, including innovation. So even though we see a lot of financing assistance, programs offered by the government, but in general, in totality, we have not really risen to a high level if we were to compare our level with other countries, right? And probably this is because, this is my personal opinion. Perhaps this is because of our education system. Our education system has been very much focused on drilling
Yeah.
every children, every
Yeah.
child, children to be, to be good in exams,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So if we compare ourselves with other countries, for example, like in Finland or Sweden, Scandinavian countries, and the West, European, the American continent, the the child is being nurtured to think creatively, innovatively from young.
Yeah.
And perhaps our culture, Malay culture, Chinese culture, Indian culture, we parents tell their young, okay, do this, don't do this, don't do that, so
Don't ask too many
we
questions in class. Yeah.
don't ask too many questions in class,
Yeah.
right? And don't what you say, there's so many don'ts, right? There are so many don'ts, right? So that somehow impede our creativity and innovation. The on how we can harness on entrepreneurship and into innovation to a high level. And there are some thoughts that say, okay, the government must drive entrepreneurship and innovation. But what we have seen in the West is that it's better that the government does not intervene in the development of entrepreneurship and innovation. They can support, they can facilitate, but don't intervene.
Yeah.
Right? Creating the ecosystem for entrepreneurship and innovation, it should be driven by the entrepreneurs, by the private sector.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in Malaysia, we have been our system or our way of doing things from the top, from the government, and even in organizations, large organizations, medium-sized organizations, there are so many levels of decision making, right? Because that is what bureaucracy entails. You have several levels of decision making, and because of that, what is being, let's say that there is a good idea in the beginning, to get the good idea to the top, to the main decision maker, may take several levels, may have to go to many departments and so on. Even though the government has created one-stop agencies, for example, but communication flows are still hindered, right? Decisions are still hindered because of various reasons, right? So to me, it has to start from our young, and our young people who are going to be parents, who are going to educate their children, they have to make changes, right? So like myself, being parents, I allow my children to explore as much as possible, um, and they can take any degree or even if they don't want to go through to a university, so it's up to them, it's their choice, but we support, we nurture as much as possible, right? Get them to explore, and that's how we build a creative uh, we build creativity, innovation, and if that is the way for us to become an entrepreneurial nation, then we have to do that.
Yeah, that's right. And also in hopes to overcome bureaucracy and put that to a stop. Yeah. All
Correct.
right. Thank you so much, Prof. Moha. So I'm just going to come back to our questions that we already have here. It's actually directed again to Prof. Moha, but it's a simple one. Um, what would you advise on a beginning entrepreneur who has the interest but don't really know how to start with or what to start with? I know you have advised your students, such as Cheryl and Reese, that they just need to start somewhere. But could you elaborate a little bit on what that somewhere is or where that somewhere is?
Okay. So uh, if if you are looking for a formula, there's no
Uh-huh.
one way or one best strategy, right?
Okay.
I have to say
Okay.
that because the more complex and complicated the opportunity is, the more resources, unique and skilled talent the entrepreneurs need to assemble. Okay, resources come not only in the forms of financial and human capital, but also physical, intellectual, social, and organizational capital. These resources need to be assembled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those with support and resources from their families, they tend to move faster.
Mm-hmm.
Those who have to start with their own sweat and bootstrapping, it's
Mm-hmm.
better that they get guidance, uh, identify mentors and business angels, get into an incubator or accelerator program which provides seed funding and access to market and networking, right? Because in doing business, it's not just about know-how. You also need know-who, and importantly also a nurturing and conducive ecosystem.
Right.
So each entrepreneur will go through his or her path
Mm-hmm.
and move at different pace. It depends on how well uh, it depends on how well he or she shapes and builds the opportunities with his or her team. Again, I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to emphasize the importance of building a team. Back to you, Grace.
Yes, yes, that's right. Yeah, so team is definitely a catalyst and also a very pertinent component in having that entrepreneurship mindset and also having a successful business. Okay, so my next question would be to Cheryl. Miss Cheryl, uh, are you planning to set up your own business in the future? And because you already have an immense amount of knowledge and experience with your current job, so could you tell us a little bit about what your plans are,
Okay.
Cheryl?
I believe this world is made up of two types of people. There
Mm-hmm.
are the visionaries and there are people who make those visions come true. And I personally think I fit the latter. So
Okay.
following my mentor, Dr. Mohar's footsteps, I strongly feel I would be able to provide consulting services to businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs. So
Mm.
I actually have a track record of providing feasible solutions in many business case competitions, which are based on existing companies. I've also assisted several companies with providing pitch decks, scale up plans, and marketing plans. So I think I have a good shot at setting up my own firm. Okay, so when it comes to applying what I learned from Drop and Wash and Go Job, I have definitely internalized a lot of the social aspect from both organizations. Definitely in the climate change area, considering the world we are in right now. And
Mm.
also, Drop and Wash is an eco friendly dry cleaner using no toxic chemicals. So I think that has kind of shaped my passion for stopping climate change, but mostly what my experience in Drop and Wash and Go Job has taught me is mostly in the social inclusivity aspect. So Drop and Wash hired marginalized individuals. So some of these individuals consist of disabled people, retirees, ex-convicts, rehabilitated persons, transgender people, single mothers, and former sex workers. So I learned that these marginalized folk, though they come with their own set of problems, they are very appreciative of their jobs and work harder to show a learning curve. Therefore, you actually have appreciative employees working towards the organization's goal. So if I do set up my own consulting company in the future, you expect a lot more of my solutions to be, around these areas that I've just mentioned.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cheryl. You definitely know what you want and how you could drive forward using your expertise as a. I would see you as a solution. I mean, like a problem solution solver, and and people actually look up to people like you that can give them solutions to their problem, right? So it's a great place to be in, especially if you like challenges such as this. I think you are doing great in it. Yeah. All right. My next question for Miss Aries. Can you share your advice with all the viewers, especially the young entrepreneurs like yourself, if they want to set up their own business? Maybe you can share about what are the benefits of having your own business?
All right. My advice is to future entrepreneurs. I hope that you always keep up with the current trend as it changes from time to time, and then try to create something that is following the demand of the market, and that and now that time that we have evolved, lots of people are going on digital, so maybe you can sort of um, in digital marketing, do lots of market research and try to avoid um, things that probably um, marketing mafia, and in terms of benefits of having own business, not just you can discover your own potential capabilities, and then you can address your own weakness, but also when something happens to your business, you are the one who are responsible um, in doing something, in making actions. So having your own business is actually um, to show how uh, your strength and your powerful your mind, and then it actually helps you to grow not just um, yourself, but also in terms of your maturity and all. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Iris, for that useful input and also from how this is actually very beneficial for entrepreneurs out there. Okay, I'm going to go back to questions from the audience. It has been building up. Right. This is a very serious question, and it is a current issue right now. The national budget is being tabled right now in Parliament. Entrepreneurs' wish list has always been in tax relief and extended funding. Is this the only problem stifling entrepreneurs' growth prospects? Anybody can take this question? It's on the screen.
Okay, let me try this. Let
Okay.
me try to take this question. Okay. So Well, there are many things, many factors influencing the success factors. Influencing the success of entrepreneurs and businesses. Yes, tax relief and funding are important, are also critical success factors, but there are other things. I think but what is the government is able to control is tax and funding, right? That's what the government is trying to control. That's what the government is able to control, because government earns through tax collection or tax earnings, and these taxes, this tax income come from the citizens as well as businesses, right? Company taxes or corporate taxes. So that's what the government is able to control. Another thing that the government is trying to is able to control, and as I mentioned, since the 80s, the government has placed the entrepreneurship agenda as one very important national agenda, and it's part of wanting to develop the nation into an entrepreneurial nation, because there are many Asian countries. Asia is still developing, right? The North America continent and Europe, there are many countries which are already regarded as developed countries. So Malaysia has been trying to develop into a developed nation, but we are still in transition, right? And so policymakers feel that in order for Malaysia to transition quickly to becoming a developed nation is through entrepreneurship development. But here we need to see entrepreneurship as more than just starting businesses, right? That's just one part of entrepreneurship. Another aspect of entrepreneurship is innovation. And Malaysia has been known to be, or Malaysian people has been known, or even Malaysian businesses have been known to be, we import more than we export, right? And this is not good for our nation, for our businesses. We have to be able to export more than we import, right?
Yeah.
And so going back to the issue of tax relief and funding, these are things that the government is able to control and to influence directly. So that's why when the budget is being tabled, it will focus on these things. But there are other dimensions which I would regard as the soft dimensions. And the soft dimensions mean to nurture. To nurture means to build ecosystems, right?
Yeah.
Nurturing ecosystems. And
Yeah.
and even though the government has done quite a lot, but now we need to get the private sector to come on board in a huge way, right? The problem is our businesses tend to be still very dependent on the government for financial assistance. So we will not be able to break this until the private sector, until there are, we need champions out there who can lead the private sector to come on board in a very broad manner, like what the successful entrepreneurs in America and in the West that we know, like the late Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, they are successful. Jeff Bezos. see Elon Musk, see how they become movers, right? So we need a lot more of our entrepreneurial leaders to champion this kind of things,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And then only we will see, then we will be able to go greater heights and not very dependent on tax relief or extended finance.
True.
Okay.
True. Yeah, definitely. So what you're saying is they need to step up and lead as they are leaders themselves in their own way in their businesses. So yeah, people will start looking up and as well as try to beat them in their own game and to be independent. Thank you so much, Prof. Moha. The next question, I was thinking maybe Cheryl can take this since you're in social enterprise. Now, rising entrepreneurs, hold on, sorry. Rising entrepreneurs during the pandemic often misunderstood that they are taking advantage of people by capitalizing on a downturn. How do you define ethical entrepreneurship? This is from Kyle.
Can you repeat that question?
Yes. Can we have that question on screen again? So rising entrepreneurs during pandemic often misunderstood and takes advantage of people by capitalizing on a downturn. So how do you define an ethical entrepreneurship?
Taking advantage of people by capitalizing on a downturn. I think I came across a business that reminds me of that phrase. Someone was selling hand sanitizers that apparently promotes moisture that helps moisturize your hands, but no alcohol. And
Right.
to me, that was a bit because alcohol is needed to kill bacteria and germs and viruses in this case. And I think in that aspect, you can tell that, okay, maybe that is definitely taking advantage of, the situation that we are in right now. But taking advantage of people by capitalizing on a downturn, how do you define ethical entrepreneurship? Well, if you hire B40s and marginalized people, that is already an ethical business.
Yeah.
As long as you are not contributing to somebody's, as long as you are providing them a source of income and you are helping their well-being, I feel like that is already ethical entrepreneurship. Is there an example of of people being taken advantage of during this downturn? Is there a way for us to communicate with this person?
I think it's a general question, and in all businesses, there is a question of ethics involved in different sectors. So yeah, especially people are definitely looking into opportunities, and yes, turning an opportunity into a good one for the betterment of both parties is definitely ideal. But there are some people out there who take this opportunity to make use of other people to gain money and things like that. I think it's just a general question that he's asking. But you have answered it quite well, Cheryl, by saying that as long as it benefits both parties and it doesn't affect people in a way and does not make use or take advantage of them, those who are marginalized, for example. That would be your opinion of ethical entrepreneurship. And great, very well answered. Anybody else would like to add to that before I ask one more question from the public?
Well, I just think that it depends a lot on our moral compass,
Yes.
on
Oh, yes.
our values, right? our virtues, which very much is dependent on our upbringing and also the surroundings that we have. Sometimes people manipulate or people cheat
Yes.
out of necessity, right? Out of necessity, and maybe they have tried very hard, but well, there are cases whereby because of poverty, because of necessity, then they formulate ways and methods which involves cheating, stealing, and so on, right?
Yeah.
So this goes back to me the education system, values, our upbringing, our moral compass, which in Malaysia we are not lacking of, right? We are not lacking of in all these things, but somehow there will be instances in one's life where ethics may be given less priority than survival, right? But we hope that and what we want to see happen is that there will be more and more entrepreneurs and business owners which will help or which will do their businesses and entrepreneurial pursuits in the right way,
Yeah.
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prof. I'm sorry we are going beyond our 1 hour. Please bear with us, our speakers here. The audience is very much interested to ask you all these questions. We have more question from the audience and one more from my palm. All right, the last question is from Magat Firdaus. Now, with the current pandemic, it is undeniable that there have been many unprecedented circumstances. Could you share with us what are the unexpected situations that you had to face and how you solved them? So I believe this question goes to both Aries and Cheryl. Anybody can start first.
I think I'll let Aries go first.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think the past few months there are a lot of unexpected things happen, especially during this pandemic. And for me, one of it is that my store wasn't operate for about 3 months. Yeah, around 3 months, so that I have to change the way I used to run my business from physical to another from providing services physically to providing products on online, from this digital marketing. We use digital marketing. We use WhatsApps. We use our websites to actually sell our products during those 3 months, to actually cover all those sales that we lose that time. And also after the government has given the permission to run the business again, lots of people are actually still afraid to go out and to go to places that eventually use a physical, how we say this, physical touch. But what we did was, every of my therapies have to use all those protections, such as apron, gloves, face mask, face shield, all those things for all the time when they're at spa. And also we have implemented another service that requires us to, go online, for example, because not everyone is brave enough to go out, so we have to go to them. So that's what we do. We actually are providing services through online so that people could hire us from our website or our WhatsApp or whatnot, and then we bring all those staff, all of our staff to their places so that they still can get services during this pandemic time. And also we have and also that I have found another opportunity where I saw me and my husband saw the opportunity in food and beverages industry currently. So we actually created this one brand, and we have successfully turned from home-based business to current to now that we have physical office. We have employees, kitchen helpers to help us processing our food and all those. So yeah, that's how we actually manage to change this whole thing to opportunity. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Aries. Up to you. Over to you now, Cheryl.
Some of the challenges we faced while doing this food aid distribution mostly came from the organization that gave us the funds because because if the grants come with a lot of scrutiny, so you have to be very particular about how it's given, how it's documented, in what way will they come and receive, or will the food be delivered. There were a lot of problems in that aspect, so we had to really, even though it's as simple as giving food to B40s, it came with a lot of SOPs and operations and many procedures that we spent months cracking our heads trying to do. But our biggest problem was when we were told that we can't give this grocery aid to B40 families who have received BPN, Bantuan Prihatin Nasional, and our reach significantly dropped after that.
Yeah.
And it was a bit disheartening, because even though many of them receive BPN, it doesn't exactly help them in that sense. That amount, that one-off money does not really help them get through with whatever problems that they have during this pandemic. So we found a solution, obviously, because we noticed that even though B40 families, even though there are many people in one family, there will definitely be someone else in that family who have not received VPN. They could be a student or they could be a senior citizen, because the first round of VPN, not even though it was for B40s, like still there were still a lot of them who did not receive VPN, and we managed to identify eligible applicants through that way. If they apply and their application becomes unsuccessful, we would call them up and we would tell them, hey, you might want to register again using a different family member's IC if you want this food aid. And we managed to figure that out.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much, Cheryl and Aries, for really opening up and talking about the ups and downs of the industry that you are in. So actually, I'm wrapping up our talk, already almost half an hour over time. Prof. Mohar, the last question is for you. With all the fruitful discussion that we've had today and the knowledge shared by you, Miss Cheryl and Miss Aries, maybe you could tell the viewers um, what they need to know, or if they want to become an entrepreneur, how can they start with? But I believe you have already covered that before. Maybe you could also share about a program in Uniraza that could help them set up and manage their own business. Prof? Okay. All right. Okay. While we wait for him to come back online, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Aries and Cheryl for joining us today. You didn't have to do this, but thank you so much for giving back to your alma mater, Uniraza, and making yourself available for this session, a good 1.5 hours. So I'm really grateful for you for being here and to share your insights. Okay, I believe Prof is back online. So I'm just going to repeat the question to Prof Moha. With our discussion that we've had today and knowledge shared by you, could you share with us about a program in Uniraza that could help future entrepreneurs or right now entrepreneurs to help them set up and manage their own business?
Okay, thank you, Grace.
Yeah.
At the Bank Rakyat School of Business and Entrepreneurship, essentially we have various types of business administration and management programs. And students can specialize in various areas, namely entrepreneurship, social media marketing, business analytics, sports management, Islamic banking, and several others. So there are various specialization areas. But essentially, our programs at the school are business administration and management. So at Uniraza, all students, including students from other schools and faculties, will experience learning about entrepreneurship and innovation throughout their studies. For instance, we have students in other schools starting their ventures during their studies and after they graduated. And we have helped them to grow. But if you intend to learn deeply about entrepreneurship and immerse yourself into the entrepreneurial learning experience, you can enter the entrepreneurship program, where we will pay close attention in grooming and developing you into an entrepreneur or entrepreneurial leader. This means that we don't just teach. What we do goes beyond teaching. We mentor, we advise, we sit down with you and iterate your ideas. We give and spend time with you. Sometimes we hold your hands. Most of the times we drill and challenge you. So if you feel that you already know about entrepreneurship, then you can enter any business program at the school and specialize in non-entrepreneurship areas of studies. But as long as you are in the university ecosystem, we will help you develop and grow your venture. Thank you, Grace.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that short and sweet introduction of our programs, well as where people or students who are looking to be an entrepreneur, to start their own business, they can start here at Uniraza. With that, I would like to thank all three speakers today, especially to Prof. Moha, who took his time out to share with us nuggets of wisdom when it comes to entrepreneurship and the whole subject itself. Thank you once again to Cheryl and Elise, and all the best to your ventures, both of you. Thank you for coming back to us. And giving back. So I would like to end the talk with a few reminders to our audience out there. The intake for Uniraza is on the 7th November 2020. That's tomorrow. Mara TESP convertible loan is still available until 13th November 2020. To apply for that, you need to visit our website, www.mara.gov.my, and our website, www.uniraza.edu.my. You can also call us at 03-2789-1599. That's 03-2789-1599, or email at drjo, that's Dr. Joe, drjo@uniraza.edu.my. Don't forget to follow My Uniraza on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to My Uniraza YouTube channel for more events like this. And also our virtual open day, last day today. And if you'd like to receive live consultation, you can still tune in. And stay tuned for our upcoming events with more interesting topics on your TikTok live session. Don't forget to keep your social distancing and stay safe, everybody. Okay, have a great week, everyone. And to y'all too. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, bye.
Happy weekend, everyone.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.